It's hard to beat G-Shock when it comes to ruggedness. As a matter of fact, I think G-Shock's logo should appear next to bum-proof in the dictionary. Sadly, most G-Shock models are humongous, making us slender-wristed collectors feel a bit left out. Fortunately, there is a ray of hope for small wrists: the G-Shock DW-5600. Alright, so we're going to start by looking at the measurements of the watch because it's the most important aspect of this DW-5600 in my opinion. So since I'm someone with pretty small wrists, I've been looking all over the internet for tiny G-Shocks because the rounded ones are too big for my wrists. So most people recommended like Baby G's, which is the women's brand of G-Shock. So I was about to step on my last bit of manliness and order a Baby G, but then an angel came down from heaven. This DW-5600. As you can see here on my 6 1/4 inch wrist, the size is just perfect. The square case makes it wear really small. So as you can see, there is no lug overhang at all. And then the strap right here doesn't stick out too much. So I think it's really the perfect size for a tiny wrist like me. And it's pretty much the only G-Shock that is that small. There are other variations like the 5610 or things like that, but it's pretty much a square case G-Shock are the only one that will fit on a small wrist, in my opinion. So what's so great about it is that even though it costs peanuts, it's a proper G-Shock. Like, of course, you won't get high-end features such as GPS tracking or atomic clock, anything like that, but you do get every basic G-Shock feature because it is powered by the 3229 module, as you can see here on the case back. 3229 module. So this one has, as I said, every basic needs like timekeeping, of course, and then you have an alarm clock, countdown timer, and then a stopwatch. So I won't go into detail over these features because they're the same that the G-Shock DW-6900 has, and I've already covered those in a video which I'll link below, so if you're interested you can go watch this one. But in short, the two features I use the most are the countdown timer. So for example, when I'm cooking, let's say I have to meditate and I want to count down 10 minutes, etc. So pretty useful feature. And then the alarm clock, which let's say I'm on a trip and I don't have access to my regular alarm clock, I'll use this one and it works just fine. This module is rated for plus or minus 15 seconds per month accuracy, so same thing as any other quartz movement. In my experience, it will keep time even better than what's advertised. I never really felt the need to set the time again because it lost too many seconds. So maybe once a year you will have to set it back to get the perfect time if you're very anal about this type of thing. But it's super accurate. Also, you will never have to change the calendar because it is preset up until 2099. So hopefully we will all be cyborgs or have transcended into robots by then, so we won't need a watch. So you're good for the next 100 years or so. As I said, it is a proper G-Shock, so you do have 200 meters of water resistance like any other G-Shock would. So of course this will be plenty for regular use such as swimming pools, washing the dishes, etc. The only thing I do not recommend is taking it in the shower. I know some people do it, but I just don't because heat and steam will usually dry up the gaskets. So within a few years, it maybe won't be water resistant at all if you use it in the shower constantly. So also, same thing goes for battery change, which depending on how you use it, you will change battery every, let's say, 3 to 7 years. So if you open up the case back to change the battery, make yourself a favor and get a new gasket. It's pretty cheap, and it will make your watch just as water resistant as when it comes out of the factory. So now another feature is the Electro Luminescent backlight, which is pretty famous for Casio watches. So as you can see here, a super bright green screen. So legibility will not be a problem with this watch. Even in the darkest setting, you just press this button and you'll be able to read the time just fine. So pretty cool feature. Now, the styling of this watch, in my opinion, is awesome. You get the usual ruggedness you would from a modern G-Shock. It will be very shock resistant, etc. But it also has kind of an iconic styling because it shares pretty much the same styling as the 1983 first G-Shock model, which was also square. So it's kind of a nice combination between modern looks with the digital dial, and then you also get a vintage feel because it's kind of a throwback model, if you will. I chose the matte black resin case because first of all, it is extremely easy to pair with pretty much any clothing, any outfit. Casio says on their website about this watch, they say it can be worn from the skate park to the office, which is something that I actually do because I wear this one at my job. So I think it looks good with a business casual outfit, mostly because it is so small. I know some of you guys won't be comfortable wearing this at your job if you're it's a bit dressier situation, but for me it's perfect both for the job or for a jog. So anything in between, sporty and anything in between, really, it will look good. And the other reason why I got this color is because it was the cheapest one. I got it on Black Friday last year. I think it was about $50 or $55 Canadian, so extremely cheap. If you want to get other colors, I think there's orange one, etc. There are a lot of colors available, but you will have to pay more money, of course. So if you want the best bang for your buck, get this matte black case. It looks awesome, easy to pair with pretty much anything. So I don't want to go on too long about this watch because if you want to get it, it will mostly be based on the size because G-Shock's reputation has already been built. You don't need me to say that how good of a watch it is. So if you like the styling, if you have tiny wrists and you want a G-Shock, do yourself a favor and get this watch. It is awesome. It will last for decades, and then it will look very good. So thanks for watching today's video, guys, and see you next time.